Hi Saloni, welcome to Growth Circle. Really excited to talk to you today and listen about your experience and the messages you have for our viewers. So Saloni is a VP at Salesforce and has tremendous experience as an entrepreneur working with international audience, moved from US to India recently and has a 5-year-old. And she's a woman entrepreneur leader and head of design at Salesforce. Looking forward to talking to Saloni.
Hi everyone, I'm Saloni Borar. I head design at Salesforce for Commerce Cloud globally and Apps India teams. And it's almost going to be a year for me in India. I moved to establish all the amazing India teams here. And I've been working with Salesforce for over 10 years now. And apart from work, yes, at my past life, I was an entrepreneur as well, and now fully into the strategic leadership at Salesforce. And I do have a 5-year-old, Anaira, who's right now at summer camp, so I can do this pretty well. Awesome. That's about me.
Awesome. Thanks, Saloni. And Saloni, maybe we'll talk a little bit about your experience, maybe talk about your career progression, right? From where you started to where you are today. How did this journey happen? What was your inspiration?
So, if I look back, it's been very organically that my journey, I was into design. Absolutely hardcore graphic designer. At that point, I think graphic design was the thing. Graphic design, advertising. I've done my master's in design from London, and I was working in advertising. There was always that curiosity, what goes beyond design also. So the journey started from there, I would honestly say. And then I got married and I moved to Boston, and with the same work, I was doing it from there. And then I started my own company with one of my college colleagues, and we started our own design brand agency then, and that was spread across globally, and that was very fulfilling too. Real time, hands-on, dealing with clients, customers, and doing the design work. And so that was great. And simultaneously at that point, I think I'll be very honest, my husband figured out the UX side of the world because he is himself an engineer, and he was like, Saloni, you should start poking there and seeing what is it. So I was like, I got curious. I said, yeah, what is it? And then that led to my master's in from there, the journey from getting into the user experience design, and the course was very beautifully balanced between design and research, which gave a lot of wings to understanding like what's the mindset of a human being, the cognitive load when we look at a design, and what goes beyond that design decisions. So started from there, and then worked at some startups, and then one of the companies I was working that got acquired by Salesforce at that point, and the journey with Salesforce started off. So it's been a very organical move and transition, I would say. So started as the junior most designer there, and now leading that cloud, and it's so amazing.
Awesome. Super inspiring. I think it, like they say, right, the dots connect backwards. When you started, maybe it was organic, but now looking back, like that move to UX and everything is connected, and now you're leading the space. Especially now, I think with the technology, everything is evolving. Maybe we could talk a little bit about AI. I've listened to some of your videos. There's so much shift happening now, Saloni. We really need people who are wearing that user experience lens, right? Like, what exactly do you want? Do you want to share any thoughts on that, Saloni? So recently, for example, I was reading a lot about, not having enough women representation in the design teams, right? Like a lot of products are designed for men. I think we were chatting about this a few weeks back, right? Like how has the world evolved, and how do you see yourself as a woman leader shaping this journey?
I think, honestly, Sindhu, I have always been very grateful and had that opportunity of having amazing leaders around me. The leaders, male leaders who were pushing the female leaders to grow, and female leaders indirectly leading other female leaders to grow. So it was always a mix. So I always had that fantastic opportunity around me. And believing in yourself and trust is so important for the growth of anyone, I would say. So I usually don't believe in male, female. It is just around what do you want? How do you want to grow? And that cannot be differentiated. You should have goal settings, you should have that ambition, that drive, that curiosity to grow, learn, and move ahead. I think if that's there, nobody can stop you. And opportunities are built absolutely around that. And as you mentioned, the world of AI, which we are, oh my God, it's moving so fast. So the pace is really something everybody's trying to catch up. Every day we find something new that is happening. So not to fear, but to be a part of that. And how we can use to our advantage is something which I tell my teams also. That, how can we make that more efficient for us, for our day-to-day life, rather than, there's always that conversation, oh, AI is coming, are we going to be obsolete? No, it's here to help us enhance. So there are a lot of nuances to it, how we structure around it, but it's something we should think about. The world is changing, the trends are moving fast. We need to continuously keep ourselves updated for it.
Absolutely, well said. And I think a lot of it is also improving our productivity, right? Like we've done some sessions for the Growth Circle community on leveraging AI, and it's like once you start embracing it, of course there's the fear of the unknown, like will it replace jobs, like all of that, because it's changing so fast. Every day there's a new thing coming up. One day Microsoft is leading, one day Salesforce is leading, one day Google is leading. It's like every day you have to catch up. But once you like break out of all the noise and you start thinking, what is the use case? Right, that's when it really improves your productivity as leaders, as entrepreneurs. And because I remember, like, for people to become entrepreneurs, they needed a lot of resources. Now if you want to like deploy an app, just go and use these tools, and you could do some basic prototyping, and there's just so many tools, right?
Sindhu, you're so well, you've put that together. A lot of things have streamlined. So like that piece where we used to find 1,000 things, how should we start? I think we have all the tool set, the toolkit is there. How we utilize it to our benefit would be where I think our brains should be there. That how can we make lives of ourselves, our customers, very efficient, like time to value, all that is coming in so amazingly. Because right now, everybody's moving fast. So it's about like, we are in a world of coexistence. How we actually make sure that we are using the tool to our benefits.
Absolutely. And Saloni, just wanted to double click on that. Like a big part of it is change management, right? For yourself and for your team, especially if you're a leader, you're constantly thinking, how do I upskill myself and also make sure my team is moving along. So do you want to share anything, of course, which is not confidential, on how you're approaching this space? Any tips you have on what's working for you and for your team?
I think, categorically at work also, there's a huge deep dives, discussions on how can we move fast, how can we make lives of our customers great, and the whole thinking about our design systems, our products, and our strategies are all moving towards that direction. And personally, also for the design team, how can we be efficient? How can we make decision making? Because now from the craft, the thinking is moving towards strategy. A lot of things are getting built quickly, but now designers' roles are shifting, the mindsets are shifting. That to think end to end, how can we see where the AI fits in and when it should fit in? So it's not like we are just retrofitting it. It has to have that thinking. So it's like thinking about that product holistically, how we are actually evolving it. This is a new era, honestly, where the craft, the thinking, the decision making, the vision has all evolved so amazingly with our all cross-functional teams as well. Design teams, the engineering teams, the product teams are all speaking the same language. And that is a massive shift. In every company, it's like, how we are all pivoting so fast and so quickly with the teams.
So true. I think, I think a lot of exciting things happening and looking forward to more things. And thanks for sharing your perspective. Saloni, just switching the gears a little bit, I just wanted to double click on your entrepreneurial journey. You've talked about it briefly, but would love to know what was your thought process and were there any challenges? How was your experience? Because a lot of our viewers are also entrepreneurs or aspiring entrepreneurs. So any advice you have for them, especially from a design or a tech standpoint, basis your experience?
I think from the entrepreneurial standpoint, one thing is that every day is a new day, and you wake up to new energy. That was something definitely there, and it's definitely a very challenging and very fruitful role that gives you so much, because it's very self-driven. Nobody is going to be sitting on your head to tell you something. It comes from within. So keep that motivation high in spite of, there'll be low days, there'll be high days. Move ahead. Amazingly, I think that really helped me, because of course, every day is not the same day. And for budding entrepreneurs or aspiring entrepreneurs, I have one advice that, don't give up quickly, because sometimes, things don't work and we feel like, let's do something different, or let's go back to corporate, or let's go back. Everything needs time. You have to give time, like even a plant or a sapling needs time to grow. So that is that, I know the world is moving very fast. We have competition, we have so much. So that motivation comes down a lot of times. But, believe in yourself, give it time, give it your best, and see. And also with that, there's another aspect to it. If you're seeing something is not working and you've given enough time, pivot. That is very important. Don't keep seeing that if you're not seeing a growth, there must be something missing. Do a little bit of research, deep dive, talk to your customers, get the perspective. I love that folks believe in themselves, but also understand the market. Is that market ready to take on, or is that market pivoting to something? So being very relevant is very important in today's age and stage. That's how my advice would be.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Saloni, now talking a little bit about work-life balance, and again, you have a 5-year-old, and how was that journey like into motherhood? And anything you want to share? How do you manage the demands of a career and family life? And any advice again you have from balancing different things? What works for you? What are some challenges you're facing, etc.?
I think women are having that superpower of multitasking. Honestly, said that. And my daughter was born during pandemic, and I had honestly no help. And I was in Boston that time, and it just blew my head at that moment that suddenly everything stopped, because I was not prepared. I think nobody was prepared for it. And my parents were traveling to visit me, everything was happening, and suddenly that lockdown came. So that reality hit so hard on me at that point. But having a blessing of amazing friends and neighborhood that became a community to help me that time, I think that period I learned so much, that how to scale yourself, that everything you cannot do. You need help, ask for help. That came in there, because sometimes we feel we are self-sufficient, we can manage. But no, at points you need to take help, and don't shy away from asking that help. So that was that moment where my daughter was still within me, and I learned that. And post, like when she was growing up, like last 5 years, it's definitely challenging. I won't be dishonest about it. It's challenging because their needs, their wants, and being a mom to a newborn or a growing infant, toddler, you want to give that time. and work is also important. So a lot of time that work-life balance is so critical. It's just not something we talk about it, we need to implement it also. And how you do it, it's how you look at your calendar, how you prioritize things. Nobody's going to come and tell you, your manager won't come and tell you that, do this versus do that. You need to prioritize, draw lines, draw boundaries, that this is my time versus this is my work time. And that really helps. Little bit of discipline also helps. Otherwise, you'll get burnt out. And it's very easy. You don't realize till you're really at a point that, I can't take it anymore. And on top of it, having a very supportive partner is so important. Like, my journey wouldn't have been my journey if my husband wasn't standing right next to me strongly. So we balance, we make sure that, where he needs to step in versus where I need to step in. So that partnership is so strong that really helps that growth. And of course, like being vocal about like what you need from others is very important. So both the sides of my life, family as well as work, I scaled myself. I asked for help. Very like openly I asked that I need help on this. Can somebody do this for me? Or how do I scale my team? My team started scaling because I was moving from US to India to set up the teams, and my teams in US were like standing strong, and they gave me that support. You go, you do this. This is important right now. So that's how that trust and that scaling, being a multiplier, is so important. So I think it's a mix of both the worlds. Totally, like, if you're working, you can't remove work from family, family from work. People say it's different, but it is definitely overlapping. But we draw the boundaries and people understand it. When I say like this is my family time, people are very supportive about it. Like, absolutely, that makes sense. But if I don't say, how will they know? And I can keep getting burnt out. So I have amazing leaders, I have amazing team who supports, and amazing family who supports also when I need something else to be prioritized.
Great. I think, like they say, it takes a village, right, to raise a kid, and the support system, like you said, your partner or, your colleagues or your team members, everyone has to step up. And like you said, it's also about us asking for it, because when I became a mom, I am someone who struggles with imposter syndrome. I like a lot of moms like have that feeling like, oh my God, like you have that guilt on one side, you have that imposter syndrome. What if, I delegated too much? What if I become irrelevant? I think a lot of it is in your mind, but once you actually say it out loud and ask for help, it becomes easy. And we also have our strengths, right, Saloni? Like you said, motherhood teaches you so much. Like, I've learned so much, and everyone is like, how do you do everything? I'm like, but I'm also learning, because now we have to prioritize our time brutally, right?
And then, Sindhu, with that, I think empathy comes in for yourself and for others. I think, I'm still a very big on go, let's get this done. But, being realistic and with empathy, I think that really changes your mindset as well. So as we move along in different phases, you need to adapt and you need to mature in that phase. It is, of course, not the same 10 years back. The energy, the mindset, the maturity, it all evolves. And of course, with so much going around, and we need to continuously adapt, be flexible. I think that mindset needs to be very important, that, how flexible to adapt, adopt things, new things. Because of course, like I have an amazing team of Gen Zs, and how they are working, their strengths, their amazing energy. And it's so refreshing to learn from them. So it's always like so good to see what's outside versus what's inside and get those things all together. So that's always so good.
Awesome. I think from what you just said, Saloni, sounds like you are a very empathetic leader, and you also adapt your styles. Obviously, like when you're working with a Gen Z or when you're working with seniors, like there's a different style, right? You said you empower your teams. The example you gave when you moved your US team, because there's two things here, right? You also have to trust your team. One, they should be willing to take it up, but it only happens when you're also empowering your leaders, right? So would love to hear your leadership philosophy. How did that evolve? Like, how do you ensure that, you're empowering your team at the same time having oversight of, like you said, like at the end of the day, things need to get done as well. You are responsible for it. So how does that happen for you, Saloni?
So, Sindhu, anything needs nurturing. Nurturing is very important. And when we say nurturing, empathy, trust, all the different values come in place. And for me, my leadership style is definitely to believe and to trust the team and give them an opportunity. So if I don't give them, how will I know that they can succeed or they can fail? I don't believe that, I can boast about it. I have an amazing team, like both in my US, AMER and APAC. Both the teams are so self-driven, trustworthy, that, and accountable. I think accountability is very important to me. So all my leaders, like, of course, there's time period where they settle in, because they are new, they are adapting, they are understanding me, I'm understanding their styles. But we meet at a point where our values are exactly the same. So I'm always there when they need me. Any situation which is challenging, I make sure that, the updates are there so that I'm aware of what's going on. And if they can lead it, amazing. And if they have an issue, they don't shy away. They will come and ask for help. So that asking for help is so mutual here, that when I'm drowning, I tell my team that you guys can step in. And when they need something, they come directly to me that, we need that. And that is how the team is scalable. And I can function amazingly. They are functioning it amazingly with their team. So I have managers of managers also. So make sure that, I keep a checkpoint with everyone to see how they are doing, what are their needs, and we meet often. So that's also very important, that, we don't lose sight of anything. Every designer on my team, I know exactly what they are working on. So that's great, because it makes me feel very happy that they have and they are growing into a space they really enjoy working in. And B, if there is any roadblocks or any challenges, I'm there to support them. So it's a chain mechanism where I trust my team trusts their team. So that is how it functions. And I think even honestly, my manager, he's amazing. He also gives me that space and room to grow. That, I make sure that he's aware of everything, what's going on. But if I need anything, I don't shy away. And the amazing part is, like, our chief experience officer, Kat Holmes, she's fantastic. She's like a slack away if we need anything from her as well. So she's such an amazing leader, full of empathy, and always like on the forefront to help her team. So I think we all learn from each other, and it's inspiring how the leaders at Salesforce work.
Saloni, you sound very confident. I feel like, over the last few minutes, or generally talking to you, I feel like you're a confident leader, and a lot of it sometimes is external, you're projecting it, or sometimes it's like internally also you're confident. As women, I feel like, at least I have this, I'm externally confident, but internally I have like my own fears, imposter syndrome. So I want to understand from you, were you always confident? Did you have your ups and downs? Anything you want to share?
Well, I also have nervous breakdowns. So I have cold feet. I also, like, the whole decision from moving from US to India, like, I had cold feet, honestly. Then it was a massive decision impacting both myself and my husband's life and my daughter's. So it was a massive decision which we were taking there. So the nervousness is always there, and I'm also a normal human being. I have all my different hormonal changes happening, mood swings happening with confidence and stress all together. But over the period of time, what I've realized is that's normal. I accept it. I accept what's going in, and I cherish it also, and I talk about it also. I don't shy away from talking about that, I am stressed, or I don't know this, or I know this very well, I can answer it also. So I show that confidence also, and I mention that I am not aware. If I can learn, that would be great also. As a leader also, that learning curve never stops. So internally and externally, I'm the same person, totally. What's in my heart is what I'm going to be talking about. That filtration is very less in me. So I always tell people that, okay, let me know when it's a lot. So, but speaking with that, I think that's just what my personality has been always as a child also. Very curious, asking questions, never shying away from raising hand if I don't know anything also. So a lot of times I should raise my hand that I don't know, can you explain it to me again? Maybe they might think I'm dumb, but I don't understand and I'm curious to know more. So, and I still do that a lot of times, that if I don't understand something, I ask. And people appreciate that. And I said that same thing to my team. If you don't get it, please ask, and all of them do, and it's so important that that makes others also feel that you're listening, you're trying to understand, and you're just not nodding for the sake of nodding. So for me, that's very important. If I don't understand, please ask. I ask a lot of times, and I show my real emotions, that I am nervous, and sometimes, like, even getting on to the stage, I say that, you guys, if I fumble, please do not take that against me. It's fine. I have not had too much of breakfast today. So it's fine, just being yourself is so important.
So true. And I think being vulnerable as a leader, and like you said, like accepting that it's okay to be nervous, or it's okay to fail. I think especially for you as a leader for the design space, because there's a lot of innovation, a lot of failing fast, right? Because as a design team, I'm sure you're iterating, you're creating so many designs, and learning from it, like scratching them up and starting from zero. So I think that's very, very important, and so nice to hear you as a leader are accepting of that for yourself and for your team, Saloni. Saloni, I would love to double click now about your aspirations, both personally and professionally. Now that you are at the peak of your career, VP of Salesforce, and honestly, I'm saying peak because I've never seen very, very few leaders, women leaders. When I became a director, I realized I was the only woman in the room, and I was never into these conversations. But over the last few years, becoming a mom, I'm realizing it's different. It's different. Again, I'm also like you. I feel like, and I've got fair chances. I feel like I've got a supporting family and everything, but still, I feel like things are different, right? So you need to embrace it and understand how it is. So I would love to know about your professional aspirations and also personal aspirations for the next few years. What's next?
Peak is wrong. We've just started our journey. So it's just the starting point. There's so much to learn and such a long way to go. So I feel like I am just starting out right now in this journey. And professionally, of course, keep learning, keep growing. And I think I don't have an end goal. As I mentioned, this is a start goal, and discover, organically learn, and keep moving, and keep learning new things, and keep exploring new charters. I think that's something I'm always interested in. And when I feel that I can take more, I just raise my hand again, and I keep pushing my leaders also that, I can take more, give it to me. So that's something that's just me this way all the while. And personally, I think one thing I love is teaching and mentoring. That's something, a big part of me, and that I've been doing from where I started off also, and I've been continuing that journey. Teaching has been something very dear to my heart. So I've recently started teaching at IIT Kanpur. So that's something I'm very privileged and very honored to be part of such an amazing institution as well. And I do a lot of visiting lecturing also in my universities in US as well. So that's something, and mentoring of charts as well. So that's something personally I continue on to doing. And I love presenting. I love talking about what's going on in my world, the design world, as a leader, so that even if a percent or a half a percent gets impacted to the newer folks, I feel very good. Because when I was growing, and I'm still growing, I get impacted by a lot of amazing mentors and leaders across the globe. So it's that when I take, I like to give back also. And because what I've learned is how leaders are so selfless, and they share their point of views, their challenges, things that they have done or could have done differently, and you learn from them. And the same I would do to the folks coming in, that this is a piece of my journey. If it can help anyone, I would be so proud that even a little small impact that changed something. And that's very fulfilling for me.
That's amazing. I love it when you said, I'm just getting started. I think you're a constant learner. I can see that. Like, you're like, every day you're like, what's next? What's the next challenge you want to take up? That's amazing, Saloni.
Yeah, at work, it's like every day you sit in a call and you're like, oh my God, I didn't know about this. This is a new thing. So there's so much to learn, just not at work, like across. Like, you open anything and you're like, oh my God, this is a new tool. Every day there's something, there's a new book. Oh my God, this is so good. So good. It is.
That is what keeps you going, right? Like, learning new things. You feel like there's so many things to learn. Awesome. It's been a pleasure. Saloni, any final thoughts or messages you have for our viewers?
Just the starting message would be, keep learning, keep making mistakes. It's totally fine, fall, get up, run, and it's totally good. Like, all are humans, we all make mistakes, and don't shy away from asking help. I think those are a few things that, if we have that baked into our life, we are fine. And there's no need to be embarrassed that, if you made a mistake or you ask for a help. That's totally normal. Everybody does it.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, Saloni.